In the open chamber beyond stands a man of about 30 years. His dark goatee is meticulously groomed and his red fez rests atop his crown of curly black hair. In his hands he wields a plain-looking wooden staff, a stark contrast from his garishly colorful robes, the edges of which are stained with the refuse from your surroundings. I had wondered if we'd meet again. Make no mistake, this is about more than Silvershield's ivory tower. Every moment that passes, the dead god stirs. He will soon select his chosen, and his eyes are on Baldur's Gate. And he sneers at you. He sort of leans back on the staff to see what you're going to do at this point.
Oh, God.
What the fuck? Theo doesn't say that. Kaylee says that.
So, okay.
I knock an arrow. I'm going to wait.
Yeah,
I'm going to wait for the charisma characters to handle this.
Well, the charisma character is about to go in and beat some ass. So,
Yeah.
Yes, I guess initiative is appropriate, and we'll speak on our turns. Or
Are we like about to fight, or do we want to try potentially a maybe non-violent option first?
I think this is the wrong crowd for that type of pitch.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, we could try if you really want to try.
I was gonna try to cast Charm Person, but if we don't want to do that, we can just fight.
You probably need to do initiative anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's initiative.
It sounds like initiative's going to happen. I'm not going to start the combat music yet until we figure out exactly what's going on.
Fair.
But should we roll the inits?
We should roll the inits.
Roll your inits.
Yeah, Kaylee, I was pointing out lay on hands. You can neutralize that.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at.
Yeah.
I have a 15 for the inits.
Oh, fuck.
I rolled a nat 20 for the inits. That makes it a 19.
Yeah.
Okay, way to get that out of the way right before
Minus
I attack.
1, huh?
Yeah, so
That
19, yeah.
12.
Oh, look at that son of a bitch going so quick.
Yeah.
2.
Nice.
Now that's what I call Dos Equis.
Here, let me just increase the distance a little bit from your two.
Because I needed the cheat sheets. What was his name again?
Imbralym Skoond.
Okay, that's right. I wrote him as Fez. Okay.
I mean, that
Still
works too.
appropriate.
He's going to
Still
answer to it.
I mean, he's in my book as Evil Jafar, which is funny because Jafar is
Also evil.
Skoond prepares a spell. He's holding his action, but he has to actually prepare the spell. So he expends a spell slot.
Let's draw that right out of him. I am going to make my move. 6. Anything from him yet?
No, he's waiting to see what's happening.
Okay. And I will make a one good effort, and from there, with my maul in my hand, I will tell him, if you surrender now, we will not kill you. You will stand trial alive.
If I surrender now, the patriarchs will kill me.
Does he do anything else? Just answer?
He just answers.
Okay, then I dash.
When you come within 5 feet of him, he casts a spell and becomes invisible.
Might as well draw that out of him early.
Well, good thing that you have to see somebody to be able to cast Charm Person on them.
Well, nice. You could charm me, I suppose.
How very charming. Nemea, you are next.
Oh, I fucking hate this. How many exits are there in the room?
There is a couple of grates. They look too small for a human person to get through.
Okay.
And then there is the entrance that you came through, which is fairly substantial. There's lots of pipes and things. You're not sure where they go. It would be a pretty cramped thing for somebody to, swim away.
Okay.
And even though he's invisible, the displacement of water would not be. So you currently believe from what you are seeing that he's not currently in the water.
Okay. I want to get... Is there any way to get out of the water?
You're not currently in the water.
Okay. Is there any way to... Okay, I cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay, noted.
Outstanding.
And that's my turn, because I can't fucking see the guy.
We don't see any other exits from this room, right?
As I mentioned earlier, none that easily look big enough for a man.
Gotcha.
Xanser.
Question on the terrain, is it all flat, or do these things mean anything? And some of these other shapes
where it looks that deeper green, it's actually recessed and there's flowing water moving through it.
Okay, and these are bridges, I take it.
Yeah, they're actually like pipes, so they're kind of awkward to walk across, but they work.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a little bit of a lead from her. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on myself and just get up to full hit points before the fireballs start.
All right.
There is smoke powder all over this room, right?
Yes. Oh yeah, actually I meant to ask that. So there's smoke powder.
He's got barrels of smoke powder up on pillars and mounted on walls and stuff.
Is there one near me or no?
No, not near you.
Okay. I'm still going to do
But if any smoke powder goes off down here, all that smoke powder is going off. It's going to be a chain reaction.
Okay, very good. I'm done. So
Okay.
let me just...
way down at initiative 2, Theodosius gets to move.
I spend my 5 lay on hands points and make myself unpoisoned.
Good choice. That's a good play. All right. Top of the batting order.
Now it's probably a good time for that combat music.
We'll find out, won't we?
I hope.
Or just maybe funeral dirge, because he'll just murder everybody.
Okay, I have way less fire stuff than I thought I did. These are my no-no spells.
Stand by.
Fire control.
Fire. All right. I'm reasonably sure that Theodosius and Nemea are going to be making some saving throws for me.
Cool.
What? It is going to be of the Constitution side.
Oh, hey!
Okay.
Look at that.
That's a 5, my man.
Oh, that's a 7.
Those are both big-time fails, which I am happy to hear about, frankly.
Sure you are.
I need 3d8 worth of damage for you
Oh,
to find this.
motherfucker.
That's an 8 on the first die. 10. Alright, you can both eat 17 points of thunder damage.
And I'm at 0.
As Imbralym Skoond appears from his invisibility spell, claps his hands together, and a shockwave of noise and force ripples through the hallway, shattering bits of the stonework, and Theo crumples. You guys should probably do something about that.
Why don't you knock him over? Knock him over for a fact.
Nemea, you're still up, right?
I have 5 whole hit points of up.
5 big hit points. All right. And that's what he has on his turn. Dragomir, can you catch him?
I can try. I mean, the best I can do at this point is just to dash, and he'll draw an attack of opportunity if he leaves my space.
Okay. So you were now standing all up on his business. Nemea,
Actually, I was here.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
Oh. Yes. It's basically broken open to the wizard section at this point.
Oh, like your paladin book.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to play his fucking game and cast Shatter at him. At a 10-foot radius.
I'm assuming you're going to put it somewhere you're not going to hit the rest of your party.
Well, I'm going to put it here, and I have spell sculpting for evocation spells, so I'm not going to hit Dragomir.
Dragomir likes that.
Yeah.
Dragomir will remember that.
I'm not trying to knock everybody down. We're one dude down. Yeah. So I have. Let me just make sure I have this right. Yeah, that's an evocation spell and.
Yeah.
Spell
You choose to omit one person. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to cast Shatter at him.
Okay.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
His specialty. He has an 8.
That done do it, my man.
Nope.
That ain't it, my man.
Roll that beautiful beam footage.
That is going to be 10 whole points of thunder damage.
All right. You can see that it adjusts the positioning of his fez, but he is still up on his feet.
It's now canted rakishly to the side.
He actually looks quite
no,
dapper.
he's hot!
It's a good thing he's got hairpins.
Stupid, sexy Imbralym Skoond.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Except a fez and a smile.
I'll tell you what the hairpins are stuck into.
And as a free action, spit at his feet.
All right. Xanzer, what do you have in the tank?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, he's starting to believe it.
Yeah, fuck you guys. And then I'm going to shoot him with said arrow.
The howitzer.
It's a 19.
That'll hit him.
And because he's within 5, hey, I actually get a backsteady damage. But it's only 1d6, but hey.
Hey, that's actually a lot. You're fighting a wizard, dude.
And
Make it or break it, dice.
so let me do this first, and then there's ooh, that's a good roll.
That's
That's 16.
You want to laugh?
Is he dead?
You got him.
Yes! Yes! Eat a dick!
And
You did
so for some flavor, so you're ready to wind up and whack him with your maul.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you just see an arrowhead go right on his Adam's apple. That's all you see.
I lay on hands on
Him to fight some more?
Yeah. I wasn't ready to be done with this. Get back up!
He's standing back up on his feet.
No, on Theo. I'll give you 5 hit points.
Cool.
Get back up.
What did I miss?
He's dead. It was very quick.
Damn it.
Imbralym Skoond. Fuck that guy. He's...
We need to do something about these barrels, everybody. So
Yes.
I suggest you grab a knife and cut and throw everything into the
water.
fetid water.
Yeah.
Which is probably the missing ingredient to just set off a reaction. I don't know. I'm not a chemist. I'm a ranger.
Nor am I. So yeah, I mean, the easiest way for Dragonman to do it is to just grab like a dozen barrels, and because I can, and drag them into the water and just start smashing them with a hammer.
Okay.
I mean, it's not volatile the way nitroglycerin is volatile, I imagine.
Well, if you submerge them first, you're not at risk of sparking off.
Save one.
Save one?
How big are they? Are they like beer kegs? Are they huge?
Yeah, they're like pony kegs. They're like 5
I
gallon
want to
kegs.
save one.
Okay. I put it in my pocket. I'm literally enormous.
Um,
But yeah, we should probably save some evidence so that we didn't just look like we just dragged him down here and committed a murder.
yeah.
Speaking of evidence, does he have anything in his pockets? Anything else we
Yeah. Loot that corpse!
Yeah, if he has anything that looks like
A
personal...
confession.
If he has anything personal on him, I want to take it. I am
A plus
serial
5
killer
Avenger
trophy
Mall or
hunting right
anything?
now.
Oh, yeah, I had some flavor text for his death. Let me read this first.
He died.
Actually, let me give you the loot first, then I'll do the flavor text, because the loot will be really distracting otherwise. First off, his quarterstaff was notably different than his attire.
Okay.
It looked much more mundane than his attire, but there's something about it you can't quite put your finger on. You suspect there might be something more to that.
Magic quarterstaff. Got it.
He also has what looks like a very elaborate Omnian-style periapt on a gold chain.
What is that?
It's an amulet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is diamond-shaped with sort of looks like a turquoise gem in the center, polished. There's definitely something funny about that as well. The gold chain is probably worth some money to the right person, but the periapt itself, there's definitely some more to that story than you know what's going on.
Roger that.
It will require the casting of identify spells. Then there's also some flavor text. You find the flavor text here in the sewer.
The sewer flavor makes it strong.
Printed on the underside of his tongue.
Which is not dangling on the end of an arrow. too.
Why are you
like
making
the-
out with that corpse? Fuck you,
The
it's America.
Fruits tongue tattoos that they used to have.
Imbralym Skoond collapses in a heap, his gaudy robes submerged in the filthy runoff. His quarterstaff tumbles away from his body, and his fez looses itself into the stream of city mud, which flows towards a grated rivulet in the southeastern corner of the room. Among the treasures you loot from his body, one thing stands out. Tucked into his robe, much of it stained already by the dark liquid, is what you assume to be Skoond's spellbook, but it turns out to be much more. Flipping through the first several pages, indeed you find arcane script thaumaturgical diagrams as you would expect. However, several pages deep, it is instead the private writings of the men that you've slain beneath the Parliament of Peers. His writings contain mainly his personal musings. However, his words do outright claim his acquisition of smoke powder from Felagir's Fireworks and Chimera Enterprises to be on the direct command of Duke Torlin Silvershield. A recurring theme in his other entries concern the Chosen, mortal vessels selected by a deity to carry a portion of their power and spread the values of their parish. In the wake of Abdel Adrian's death, Skoond's focus turns towards the dead god Baal, with an obsession.
Christian Bale, yeah.
Christian Bale. For several days, his entries outline explicit examples he believes are signs of the dead god's stirring and eventual manifest, including acts of intense and unnecessary violence committed by the Patriarchs, the Flaming Fist, and the Guild. He cites specific crimes attributed to figures in his sphere of observation, including Marshal Ravengard and Torlin Silvershield. He exalts them as a celebration of Baal's portfolio, which is murder. All along, he includes his own plans to result in greater and more plentiful killings, hoping to elevate himself in Baal's eyes to be granted a scrap of his divine power. In his most recent entry, dated this morning, he states, "There can be no doubt Baal will bestow his blessing upon what phoenix rises from the ashes of Baldur's Gate. Though he courts us all, it would take an immense act of heinous murder to draw his favor. The others may not even know the game they play. The winner will wield the power of a god, and the losers will shed his grace forever. A pawn has no place in Ao's court." Ao is the overgod that oversees all Ferret.
The All-Father,
The head honcho.
yeah. The God. Ayo.
Ao. And so what it sounds like is he's been observing people like Torlin Silvershield and Marshal Ravengard, believing that they are destined to become the next chosen of Baal.
And that their actions are like,
they're being manipulated.
People have been murdered outside the city walls. That's a sign of his coming. Let's rejoice.
Or that his nearness is spurring people to commit murders.
That's exactly what he's saying, yeah.
Which may actually be the case. Or people might just be shitbags.
Combination of the two seems likely.
Well, we have a lot of evidence now. That's a good thing.
I mean, we didn't commit a heinous murder. We committed a murder.
We committed a righteous murder. It's the opposite of a
I don't think this
You
was
got
murder
two
at all.
paladins.
This was fighting to prevent Parliament from being blown up. I don't see anything murderous about any of this.
That's true. I'm loving it.
Come to McMurders.
So,
I suggest we pay a visit to Parliament.
I mean,
We're
they're
right
right
here.
upstairs.
Are they in the building?
Yeah,
We're
they're
under
in
Parliament.
session right now.
And these are the guys who did the sumptuary laws and did all this other bullshit. A significant chunk of these stupid laws that are tearing the city apart. These guys passed them, right?
They passed him, yeah.
They passed them. They are also what is holding Silvershield back from becoming a genocidal maniac. Or being able to commit acts of genocide. He is a genocidal maniac.
Yeah, as a point of clarity, all these things came from Torlin Silvershield originally. But Parliament has approved things like the sumptuary laws and disapproved things like all tieflings need to be exterminated.
I love that. It's good for me. Was it good for you?
Skoond doesn't reply, he's dead. Jesus.
I work him like a puppet.
It's really convenient with the whole
Oh God, that's awful.
So I say we bring this book and this corpse straight upstairs.
And it's powder cake?
All right.
Look at this thing I caught in the sewer.
You are able to get up there through the sewer entrances. You may recall when you tried to get in through the front doors, it was guarded. They don't permit entry to gawkers. It's literally a meeting of people in government positions. But when you come up through the stairs, there is a guard who is waiting by that staircase as you come up, sees the corpse, and moves to arrest you. There's a lot of you, so he's not moving very quickly.
No. Dude, it's good. It's good. We're good.
He does immediately call the alert. I mean, he's not stupid.
No, I get what you gotta do what you're doing, but this was the bad guy. Did you guys want to die in a fiery mess? Because we just stopped the guy from doing that.
Nemea, he sounds as though you are making threats. We have made arrest in sewer. Parliament needs to know immediately. You are arresting people. They can be our escort.
A bunch of other guards come in. They all have pole arms and stuff like that. And they first off tell you to drop the container.
This is wise.
May we gently set it down instead?
This is evidence that we must be presenting to Parliament. This is all evidence.
We're not going to allow you to bring an explosive into Parliament.
Is there a fuse? Are there fuses?
I mean, she can cast fireballs, so
I-
it doesn't really matter
I
if
am
there's a fuse
They don't know
on
what
the
she's
powder
about.
cake.
But, there's a million different ways that you could light it in a world where magic exists. But they're not about to let you walk in carrying a bomb.
Okay, well, can you take it and, consider this evidence and, not
Are
mess
we
it up?
Are we at the entrance to Parliament right now, or are we
You're coming up through the basement level stairs, basement access.
I'm the one holding it, right?
Yeah.
Here, you follow me.
Well done.
And I just grab by the scruff of the neck. I might not be able to carry it, but I can carry you.
I wouldn't drop that if I were you.
I have set it down in your arms.
They do, the guys with pole arms are trying to distance the two of you from each other. They really don't want this barrel going anywhere near the meeting in session.
Yeah, I'm sort of glowering threateningly at people. Whether that constitutes a intimidation check or not, I don't know. But
you were sort of led from the stairs in an immediacy. before they start asking you questions. These guys are obviously trying to vet you because your claim sounds preposterous. Who is taking the lead on answering their questions?
Can anybody beat my charisma?
Nope.
No.
Then I guess it's Dragomir.
Okay. Present your case to them. They're basically asking you for details, and they're holding you at the end of halberds.
Oh.
This corpse is formerly Imbralym Skoond. He engaged in a plot to destroy this building and the people within. We have disarmed many such bombs downstairs. This one we took as evidence. He was killed while trying to flee arrest. In spellbook is full confession written in his hand.
Did you provide them the spellbook?
I show it to them. I do not hand it over.
Okay. You see that the guy sort of leans in and reads through it. His eyes are a little bit wider. He instructs one of his little lieutenant guys to run down into the basement to check your handiwork with the gunpowder. And there's a delay while you're sort of kept in this waiting chamber. About 5-6 minutes pass, and the guy comes back up holding scraps of wood and clumped up pieces of black powder, and he confirms that your claim is not fictitious.
Erroneous.
And with that, the guy who's taking the lead on this sort of apprehension and investigation moves to discuss something with the door guard for the meeting in progress. And you can hear patriarchs sort of yelling at each other, as is fairly common practice for them in these positions of government, trying to protect their own interests. The discussion is brief, and the two guards crack the door open, and one of them ducks into the parliament meeting, where you assume that they're going to inform somebody that they're about to receive company.
Mm-hmm.
The door clicks shut behind him. There's another couple minutes delay. At this point, it's been like 10 or 15 minutes of him standing around, waiting to talk
Covered
to
in
somebody.
shit. Yeah.
Carrying a corpse.
And they tell you to put the corpse down. They want you carrying a corpse. Eventually he comes back and he says, your arrival will be announced momentarily. They wrap up whatever topic they were discussing, and you can hear the voice of someone who sounds like they are trying to sound like they are in charge.
Mm-hmm.
They don't sound very confident. But they announce the entry of interested parties from Baldur's Gate concerning conspiracy against the Parliament of Peers. The doors are swung open, and it allows each of you to walk in.
I do.
I do.
Yeah.
The Parliament of Peers is an ovoid chamber. There is a high table that has 4 seats, presumably for the 4 dukes to meet with the Parliament. And then around the outer limits of it, it's almost like stadium seating, like bleachers, set up around a central area with a podium in it so that somebody who is like a speaker for a specific issue can come to the podium and address the entire Parliament and be heard. It is in session with the vast majority of Parliament of Peers members, as well as one of the 4 dukes in attendance. It is not typical that they only have one, but it is typical that it's not all 4.
Which duke is it?
It is a male duke. It is not Torlin Silvershield. By process of elimination, you think this must be Duke Portier.
Oh, wimpy guy.
Yeah, sort of the spineless duke.
Gotcha. The puppet.
The spineless duke.
Pretty good name.
His sigil is like a horse that's like bent in the middle.
That was just like
Like those old nags from Popeye cartoons
like a
or something.
hot dog with a sad face. I'm a sad weenie.
Yes, that's exactly what he looks like.
Oh,
He also
this is
doesn't.
very bad news.
He doesn't have a very commanding stature. He's sort of a shorter, round man with bald head, a little bit of the Julius Caesar white around the outside. He's wearing small gold-rimmed spectacles, and he looks down from his seat in confusion. And the Parliament of Peers is muttering about themselves. You can hear lots of whispers between members of the Parliament of Peers as the 4 of you are led into the chamber. And it is on someone to explain why you're here.
Well, I guess I'll do it all over again.
Yep.
Through diligent investigation, we have uncovered plot to destroy building, and you find people. It was perpetrated by the dead man in your atrium, who was killed while trying to evade arrest. Several containers of explosives were found downstairs and have been disarmed. This has been verified by your guards.
Oh, the book.
Tell him about the book.
I have the book. This is book of Imbralym Skoond, in which, in his own hand, he confesses to perpetrating these crimes.
Do you mention anything about Silver Shield at all?
Not yet.
Okay. You see like an attendant in the foot of the raised platform wave you over from the podium towards where Duke Portier is sitting. I assume it's just Dragomir that follows that lead, or the rest of you staying in the podium?
For a little bit of flavor before I do, I take the maul and I set it down on the hardwood floor.
Like
And it echoes throughout the whole chamber.
I'm just behind you like, nice.
And I approach with the book.
All right.
2 steps behind, 1 to the left.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the right.
Just
I'm
on swinging
definitely,
distance.
I'm last in line. Nobody
Okay.
wants to see
So
that.
everybody's coming to the podium, or coming to the raised platform. Nobody's staying at the podium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're a team.
Okay.
Team America, fuck yeah.
Super friends.
A couple of the guards come in attendance of you. They don't like a whole crowd coming close to the Duke. So they're still protecting their interests. They're still very skeptical. Duke Portier waves the attendant. The attendant collects the book, if you'll allow it,
Yeah, I do.
and brings it up to the top of the steps and presents it to Duke Portier, who calls for like a 5-minute break as he consumes the knowledge within this book. He starts reading through it, starts assembling details, and you can see him get redder and redder and redder in the face. He's obviously becoming quite angry, while the rest of Parliament continues to whisper and bicker and do what crowds of people do. Once his 5 minutes is consumed, he bangs a gavel on the desk and he says, I have found the evidence to be in accordance with what these people have suggested. I will be presenting the details of it to the Watch. There are facts here that concern me. You spoke of Imbralym Skoond.
Yes, he's dead.
You can hear somebody in the crowd yell, "That's Silver Shield's wizard!" And Portier says, yes, it was an employee of Torlin Silver Shield.
And as such, I, as a paladin of the Threefold God and Lieutenant of Flaming Fist, wish to swear a warrant to arrest Torlin Silver Shield.
And there's like a huge reaction from the crowd as they're all, he's a Torlin Silver Shield is a fixture. He's with the High Cleric. And all this racket around the room. And Portier lets it go for a couple of seconds before he bangs the gavel again for order. It looks like he's not used to having to do something about this. And he says, your argument's very persuasive. I do believe it is time to bring in the Duke for questioning. And he looks over at the rest of your group and he says, I do believe that this is an act that should be performed by the Watch, given that we are in upper city limits. And then there's more outbreak from the Parliament of Peers. Some people who cheered for that response and some who are like, but they failed us, patriarch children, blah, 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 blah. And Portier is not really sure if he should bang the gavel or just let them talk until they shut up.
Duke, may I make a suggestion?
He says, I am listening.
In avoiding conflict of interest, 1 man from Watch, 1 man from Fist.
He wants you to roll a persuasion check. That's what he wants.
I roll it right there on the podium floor. It is not very persuasive. Yeah, unless somebody wants to throw me any inspiration, which I'm not saying this would be a good place for it, but it's going to be a 7.
I think I'm going to need mine momentarily.
I could try to help, but I have no charisma, so I don't know if that's helpful. I think it's
Generally not.
the antithesis of helpful.
I believe you had something planned for Zanzer?
No, let's let this go a little bit more.
All right. So he looks you over and he says, that's bold words considering the actions of the Flaming Fist of late. Their kind is not much wanted up here.
It's dangerous to give too much power to one group. That is why this man is dead.
He says, that's exactly why we don't trust the Flaming Fist. Too much power, too much military, too much physical strength, not enough nuance.
Perhaps just the 4 of us could go.
He says, I would not entrust this to someone outside the purview of the City Watch.
So, is the Parliament of Peers, Like all of the patriarchs, or just
No, it's
select?
there's probably maybe 1,000 people who live in the upper city, maybe a little more.
Mm-hmm.
And the Parliament of Peers is like 190 of them. So it's all like the heads of families and firstborn sons and stuff like that.
Okay. Would the father of the kid that we rescued be here?
Refresh my memory of the person.
The kid's name was Wallen Wittner.
Yes. We'll call it a 50-50 shot. I'll go odds or evens. On odd, then the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
Oh, that was a great idea.
I'm out of ideas, guys.
Where was the watch when patriarch children were going missing?
I want a persuasion check from you.
What was that event
That is a 19.
Wow.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right. You say this with conviction, and the room quiets for a second. There's a hushing moment, and then outrage. People are standing up on their seats and they're throwing stuff down towards Duke Portier, and you've obviously gotten some sort of a big angry reaction, but it doesn't seem like they're angry at you.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Dragomir sort of looks at you, and it's soundlessly, but you see his chest sort of rolling as he's laughing.
I'll just stand in the back of
Portier bangs the gavel. Everyone continues to yell in outrage. And at this point, another figure walks into the room from sort of behind the stage area that he's sitting at. It is a woman who looks absolutely brutal in a way. She has got a wide-shouldered frame, thick hips, like sturdy arms that look like a manual laborer, but she's wearing elegant finery. She's got a face that looks like sandpaper. She just looks tough as fucking nails with her hair tied back in a white bun. She looks like she's a human person of maybe like 60, 65 years. And she looks like she could chew on railroad spikes for a living. She looks...
Who would pay her for that?
I like her already.
And everybody sort of hushes when she enters the room, and she takes a seat next to Duke Portier.
This is Duke Van Thamper.
Yes.
Well, she does
Sewer
look like
lady.
a Van Thamper.
Yeah. The stories about her go that she began her political career as a manual laborer working in the sewers. She was used to heavy sewer labor, assembling stone fixtures and sluicing the gates. Oh, that's a nice fish, Matt. Good job. And so it looks like she has kept in shape in a way that is more farm strong than functionally strong. Or I should say, more farm strong than not functionally strong.
Yeah.
She's got huge shoulders and thick arms and looks as beefy as Dragon. Big balls. Sorry. She brought me her favorite toy. This is really sad.
The kind of meaty clackers you read about.
Jesus. You dream about.
Good job, man.
I want to wear them like earmuffs.
So some amount of calmness comes over the room when Van Thamper enters and takes her seat beside Portier. And at this point, Portier has a chance to speak once again, and he says, very well, your proposition has been considered. A contingent of the watch will be aided by you four as representatives of the Fist. He looks at your tabard. And these representatives and no more shall be allowed entry to the upper city for the investigation of the crimes of Duke Torlin Silvershield. And Van Thamper looks over, because she hasn't heard the conversation, with an arched eyebrow, but says nothing. And she sort of leans back in her chair, which creaks under her weight. She's not very tall, but she has a lot of muscle in a tiny body.
She's stocky.
She's very stocky.
She's thick.
She is thick. The group of guards is assembled from those here guarding the Parliament. Portier dismisses this particular meeting, calling for a 3-day recess. And if any further negotiations are necessary in that 3 days, that messengers will find the families responsible, blah, blah, blah.
How is Silver Shield going to try to run?
He says it's a possibility, but for the time being, at least, we have no reason to believe that he's not currently in his estate or at the High Hall.
So word of this needs to not get out, because I think he's going to cut and run if this happens. I don't think he can't fight this evidence. We need to... I'm concerned about him literally getting away with this.
We go now, then. We take him now.
He says, that was what I had in mind. That's why I'm assembling the watch members from here at Parliament. I don't want to bring the watch as a whole into this. He assembles a cadre of like a dozen watch members from here, plus the 4 of you.
Go ahead.
With your guys' allowance, I'm breaking up my +1 soapbox.
Okay.
I would like to. I'm going to direct my question to Portier. I would like to ask a question.
This is granted.
And I don't even look at him. I talk to the multitudes around me. What are you people doing?
And they all sort of turn and look.
What are you people doing to this city? You guys are supposed to be the Parliament of Peers. You're supposed to be the representatives of this city. And you're tearing it apart with your foolishness and your silly laws and your bickering and nonsense. I have had, and the people of this city have had enough, and I'm not even letting anybody interrupt me. You and your squabbling between Duke this and Duke that and Duke this, while the people out there, the real people who really keep this city in trouble, are suffering. And I take my, I have this outer leather kind of duster coat, take the whole thing off, and I throw it on the ground, and now I have my big purple quilted gambeson showing.
Oh, okay.
He's naked.
I take my long coat off, and I have my big purple...
Dog, just dragging on the floor behind me.
You see what this is? And I'm tugging at it to everybody. I am a survivor of the Battle of Lavender Hills out by Sycamber. 600 of us went against 1,000 hobgoblins, and only 103 survived. And the tailors and the seamstresses and the dye makers spent a week making fabric for all of us, burial shrouds for 497 of my compadres, and these shirts for 103 of those of us who lived to tell the tale. And you have the audacity to say that people can't wear purple in your city. I've never encountered such just trivialities from such vaunted people who are supposed to be representatives of this city. And then you sit here and you pass your little petty laws so that one duke has a little bit over. No. You're supposed to be representatives of all of us. And what you're doing here is reprehensible. You need to immediately withdraw all of these silly laws, the sumptuary laws. I'm sure that my friend over here has a notebook full of all of your silly laws that she can just rattle off. He can just rattle off for you.
And Theo does.
And I kind of cut you off. You can do whatever you want. Your children have suffered from your nonsense. You need to stop what you're doing. And I grab my duster coat and I freaking storm off the stage.
I start clapping. I start utterly applauding.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people in the Parliament, it appears, who are clapping. They appear to be the minority who voted against most of this dumb shit.
Who was man? I do not know.
You know that I want you to roll something for me, though.
I know that you want me to roll something, which is why I say my inspiration. I think all my charisma checks are the exact same, so it doesn't really matter.
They're all butt, right?
They're all kind of suck of ass.
Your +1 soapbox.
Oh, that would be a DM fiat. I was just... Oh,
Wow. Double suck.
they both suck. Can I get a help from her? Because she started reading off the... Because she started reading off the... or did I already have advantage?
It only grants advantage.
Okay,
so,
fair enough.
What winds up happening is that you do see there are some people who make firm eye contact and clap in support of your speech, but they do seem to be a minority of the people who are in attendance. The vast majority of these people have been told they don't have to work right now, and they are tuning out what you're saying and leaving. They are going home. They also, at this point, fear for their lives a little bit because of the attempted destruction of the Parliament of Peers, so they're in kind of a hurry to get the hell out. They depart, they pull together a group of watch soldiers from the staff here. It's these 12 guys who'll be attending you, and then they have a couple advanced scouts and stuff like that that are going to see if they can't make sure that he's not already making a break for it by the time you get to his estate.
Can I get an aside with Nemea away from watch members?
Yeah.
Take me. Sorry.
Wow.
Well,
This escalated
if we
quickly.
have moments.
You took the toughness feat.
Yeah, I'm about to wreck that chick. Perhaps the fist needs to know what is happening here. Perhaps you have familiar you can send to alert them.
Okay.
Send moose or squirrel.
She can only communicate with it up to 60 feet, and it can't speak.
Yeah.
But we can tie a letter to it.
Yeah.
We've done it before.
we have done it before. I call my little rat out of my bag, who is soaking wet and covered in shit. Like,
Well,
That's a natural habitat for a rat.
you get in line. We all are.
and I hold up Zeph and I whisper, it's like, we're gonna go over here. You're gonna tell Elder Ravengard what's going on, okay? What exactly do we want to write in this note to Elder Ravengard?
Yeah, you figure that out, I'm gonna pee.
We're arresting the fuck out of Silver Shield.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Have warrant to
You're welcome.
arrest Silver Shield. Only watch allowed to go.
Stop.
Send help.
Stop.
We're gonna play Get Help.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I feel, well,
Love.
Elder Ravengard sucks.
Hugs and kisses.
Although, like, in my book right now, Elder Ravengard does suck.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
he does. Unquestionably, everybody in this equation sucks. But the point is, Silver Shield's got way too much pull among the upper city people and the Watch. Like, there's just too many variables, too many things we don't know about how much juice he has. And the Flaming Fist won't let him get away with half the bullshit.
And the Flaming Fist is literally a military.
And I'd rather have them both sort of like be present so it's a zero sum.
I think that's a great. I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah.
But we're the only ones allowed in the upper city right now.
Yes.
I think they would let Ravengard in.
They do not like him.
I say we do what we can do without jeopardizing the advantageous position we're in, with being the ones to sort of go and we're assisting, but we're going to do the lion's share of the work. I don't want to jeopardize it. I say we dump it in Ravengard's lap, and if he can figure out a way to make it work, great, good on him. If he can't, hey, we told you, not our fault.
I mean, he could, like, basically encircle the outer city with fist members.
Fisticles.
Fist bumpers.
Fisticuffs.
Enthusiastic fisters.
Yes.
Yeah. They've got their gloves on and everything.
Twisted Fister.
Active fisters.
Fister.
Fister.
You're all dumb. So what's the note?
I believe I said...
We've got a warrant.
We've got a warrant to arrest Torlin Silver Shield. Only the Watch is allowed to go. Send help.
Okay. And the rat scampers off.
He eats the nearest block of cheese and falls asleep. He's a fucking rat. He's
He gets eaten by a bigger rat.
or a dog.
I want to recast this so my my familiar is actually a raven, like I intended it to be, and not a fucking rat.
Is there any sign that we impressed the Lady Duke there with our shit on our boots?
Inside check DC 20.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I have actually better insight than I have
I
any
have
charisma
some pretty
skills.
good insight.
15.
I have
10.
insight. I'm trained. 18.
2.
She is inscrutable.
I still have shit in my eyes.
I'm actually going to steal this box because my
Do
dice.
you need a new
I put that
gauze?
box there for
It
you.
helped
A new-
my dice.
Do you need a new gauze?
Oh no! Actually, I take the bandage off of my eyes, and it's just a clean patch of skin.
Are you like Cyclops to like laser beam shoot out now and blow the roof off the Parliament? It's exactly what we need.
All right.
I think when I noticed that nobody reacted as I storm out, I mutter to myself, "I hate this fucking city."
You basically made your speech at 5 o'clock on a Friday
Yeah,
before
no
a
shit.
holiday weekend.
Shit.
Yeah.
We're just calling you filibuster now.
Phil.
Buster.
Phil.
I figured I'd never have a chance to tell off Parliament. You gotta.
You gotta
Take
take
your points.
take where you go.
Aww.
Rip that motherfucker.
Rip Van Winkle.
Rip Fez.
Fez Rip.
There you go. Go play.
Yeah,
with
go play with evil Jafar, cats.
that. All right. Anything that you're doing as you are leading your team of watch members to Silver Shield's estate to make the arrest?
Swearing heavily at everything and everybody because I'm fucking pissed.
No. Unless Unless anybody's giving away giant suits of plate mail on the side of the street, no, I'm good.
You get your free plate mail.
No one else fits in it.
It's got one of those, like, guess how many marbles in the jar?
22,841.
All right, I gotta count them again. You should have written it down last time.
3 weeks later.
All right. So yeah, he was going straight to his estate. Nothing, no sides quests here.
No, we're going to fuck shit up.
We still have the staff and the amulet, right?
Yeah, they just haven't been identified yet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm here to drink and arrest shitty dukes, and I'm all out of liquor.
I'm no longer hiding the fact that I'm wearing purple. Fuck this town.
Yeah, at this point, if you're walking with 12 people from the watch, nobody's going to arrest you.
Good look on you.
Can I make subtle power moves on the way there to sort of establish my dominance?
On the way, it's a long walk to get to Silver Shield's estate. It's like over an hour.
Making my way there.
Yeah, they don't have fucking carriages or something? This is the rich part of town, for fuck's sake.
You're going with a party, like a large party.
So 3 carriages. They can afford it.
Do you not eat a cat?
I'm not eating it. She's trying to yeet herself.
Oh, cool.
Yeet.
While you are making your walk, you hear the sound of a trumpet going off from the direction of the lower city.
Oh god, it's Gabriel. It's the end of the times.
We've done this before.
And you hear after this trumpet the sound of metal on metal.
You hear the sound of metal.
Like fighting type metal on metal?
No, more like heavy guard walking, heavy boots, that sort of thing.
Oh.
It's loud enough that it sort of echoes over the city, so you can hear it even though you're in the upper city. And you're near enough to the walls that you can sort of see over the walls into what's going down below. And you see that a large party has come out from the sea tower of Balderon and has walked about halfway across the bridge.
So they're Flaming Fist soldiers.
And it looks like a shit ton of heavies. Like probably 40 guys in full plate mail. With the full banners and everything. It's almost like a war party, like they're marching to war.
So the Flaming Fist members are moving towards the upper city?
No, they stopped midway across the bridge. And there appears to be banners and stuff going on, trumpets are being blown, and a figure wearing some significantly more fancy looking armor stalks out to the center of the bridge with a couple tower shield guys on either side.
And we see this from where we're at?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You are
At my left tit, it's Ravengard.
get my big map up. So, you guys are going from the body of government, which is over here near the Wide, down towards Manorborn. So you're sort of walking the path along the walls to get towards Manorborn. And it's down here on the bridge, so you're sort of overlooking it from the walls as you walk.
Oh yeah, that's right, because Upper City is literally upper.
Yeah, it is a long way away, but it's mostly clear day to day. It's not even that far away. It's only about 1,000 feet from the walls. But you can see, the glint of the sunlight on the armor and all that sort of stuff. Goes in tight.
Thank you.
And you can hear the magically augmented voice of older Ravengard.
Uh-oh.
I get to keep my left tit.
What are you talking about now?
The voice of Ravengard booms out over the harbor, augmented by a magical horn provided to him by a man wearing a long blue linen robe stained with seawater. Citizens of the Upper City, the Flaming Fist is your defender and your ally. Our strength has kept you from times of war and kept barbarians from our gates for centuries. And yet in this moment of strife, you barred your gates to keep your stalwart defenders beneath you. As Marshal of the Flaming Fist, I order you to unbar your gates and stand down. Martial law is in effect. Ravengard stands on the bridge for a moment, awaiting a response that doesn't come.
That's my secret identity, martial law.
He gestures to an officer who pulls forward a teenage boy who's wearing a purple tunic and a golden cord around his wrist.
Oh, God.
State your name. And then I'm the next page.
I don't know yet. I haven't flipped the page.
Belt, sir. Amond Belt. Amond Belt. You've been found guilty of armed assault against unarmed civilians. The penalty is death.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What? But I never fired! Ravengard moves quickly, drawing a serrated blade across the boy's throat in a fluid motion. The youth's eyes go wide as he stumbles, tumbling off the bridge into the rushing waters below.
He just killed a patriarch kid?
Like for fun, kind of?
He's apparently blaming him for being one of the conspirators in the massacre that occurred at the gates.
Okay, so for fun.
Pretty much. Every hour, on the hour, another conspirator will be sentenced to death. You have our demands, you will stand down. And with that, Ravenguard departs the bridge, and his contingent march back into the sea tower.
Okay, so Voldemort's in the forest, and
we have all our faith in your rat.
I think that
There's no ship
happened
to sail.
because... Did that
It takes a long time for a rat to
Okay.
get that far.
Yeah.
You're talking
Well-
a long distance when you guys are on foot.
Oh my god.
Did either of the dukes come with us, or anybody else in authority? Is it just soldiers and shit? Fuck.
Yeah, those guys are not combatants. Well, Van Thamper might be a combatant, but the rest of those guys are not combatants.
Do we have any sort of official document that states that we have a warrant to arrest him, or are we just going on the good word of the Dukes?
You are going on the good word of the Dukes.
Man, we should have demanded some kind of official document that states we have the authority to arrest this guy.
You're like 8 feet tall. You could just pick him up.
And had it signed by a judge.
Yes.
That's the key part.
Yeah, notarized.
Yeah.
As you are walking through the upper city to get towards Torlin Silvershield's estate, you find that the temple district is curiously vacant.
What kind of vibe do we have right now? Like, we're with a bunch of watch guys. I'm wearing a Flaming Fist tabard. We just watched this execution happen. Like, are these guys going to go mutineer on me and try to stab me in the back, or is it hammer time? Like,
These guys seem like they have a mission in mind, and they're going to finish the mission.
okay, good. Let me know if I need to
Kill them.
show them what's what.
Yeah. As you're going through the temple district, curiously enough, not a lot of people here. It looks like the temple district has been mostly vacated.
That's fucking creepy.
Maybe we didn't find all the smoke powder?
Doesn't look like things have exploded.
Is there any new construction? What do they call them? Remember, like around Parliament, they had the
No,
scaffolding.
Scaffolding. Thank you.
No scaffold.
Let's investigate this after we arrest the rich guy.
I mean, yeah, the rich guy is the high
He's priority one.
priest of, like, he's the high priest of the Temple of Gond, so
Truth.
he has a big-ass estate. What if he pulled everyone from the Temple District
Inside.
to defend him?
One way to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Dungeon crawl.
Dungeon crawl! Dungeon crawl!
Buns!
No
Butts!
No more poo tunnels.
Alright, so we pulled the poop tunnel now.
It's full of bugs.
Out of the sewer and into the shit show.
I'm going
This
to.
is his house. House, H-A-U-S.
This
His
is
house.
where he is making fuck.
Jesus. I'm intentionally lagging behind everybody.
Fuck!
Wow.
Delivery in 5 minutes or less.
Hot and ready.
Torlin Silvershield's estate is a walled property with several buildings. As you arrive at the estate, you find that the walls have 2 gates. Both gates have been barred, and they are covered by attendants who are wielding heavy crossbows. As you near, somebody in the watch party yells, "Stand down! We've come to arrest Torlin Silvershield." And the 2 guys go for their crossbows, and the watch guys, before they can move, are just like, pop, pop, pop,
Ooh,
fill these
beautiful.
guys with bolts.
Wow.
They go tumbling down into the dirt. They get a little closer. One of the guys waves forward. He's got like a box, like a briefcase looking thing. He opens it up and he pulls out some bolt cutters.
Oh.
And they start cutting the chain that opens up onto the gates.
The watch has a rogue on staff.
Yep. He goes and he cuts the bolts on the chain, and they swing the gates open. And when they come in, you can see that up in the different buildings, not this one I have in front of you, this is for us, but for the watch guys, as they're sort of looking around, there are a shit ton of patriarchs that are allies of the Silvershield family who are up in the different like balconies of different houses and like in second floor bedrooms and stuff like that, all with crossbows drawn. And there is a lineup in the courtyard of clerics from the Church of Gond who are wearing their full vestments, and they are standing behind a myriad of confusing-looking machines that they have apparently looted from the museum in defense of the Silvershield estate.
This may be a good time to mention I only have 5 hit points left.
Wow, it is a good time to mention that.
I
Do I have time for a bonus action?
Yes.
I'm casting Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm gonna say narratively, I'm rocking some cracked ribs from that. I don't want to make.
While she's doing that, is Any of these patriarchs, like, were they just in Parliament? Are any of them recognizable as being from Parliament, like, moments ago? Or
There's hundreds of people. You have no idea. Okay. Odds are not good because they would have had to move faster than their party.
And refresh my memory. Gond is a priest. Is a god of what?
He's a human cleric of invention.
Well, human god.
Oh, yes, human god of invention.
Okay.
Invention and ingenuity.
So I'm trying to remember this book. Fez's journal, and
that'll do.
Was it really just Fez who was into ball, or do we get the impression that Silvershield was also into ball?
What he said was that he had the words in his most recent entry, they may not know the game they play. He wasn't sure if they knew about ball or not. Okay. He knew for sure.
Okay. So face value, the book face value, he was all about ball, and then not necessarily the other guys. He kind of thinks that they were sort of...
They may have been in the dark, they may not have. He didn't form a lot of theories about it, but... He obviously, he never told them. So if they found out a different way, they would have had to do some of their own research. All your pre-battle stuff done?
I am now at a happy 12.
Yeah, it's way more than 5.
It is way more than 5.
I'll knock an arrow just for
So these curious machines that these patriarchs are manning, can you describe them?
Yes. One of them looks sort of like a tripod ballista with a hand crank.
Okay. They're siege weapons.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like bad times.
How many of these, for lack of a better word, we'll call them yahoos, are within 30 feet of me?
Right now, 0.
Okay. Let me know when it's a bunch.
Yeah. All right, so we're ready to start the party?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Also, let me know when I need to go to my car.
Wisdom, people?
It'll be a little while yet.
Yeah. Never mind then. Okay. Charm person is not the spell.
What?
These guys.
Maybe.
Has it been... How long has it been since we nuked Skoond?
Less than 2 hours.
Amazing. Okay, I just wanted to make sure my mage armor was still on.
Scooby nuke.
Okay.
Have we had a long rest since the massacre?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
It's been kind of some pretty severe timing issues lately.
Yeah.
All right. If it sounds like we're ready for a party,
We're well into overtime on the Flaming Fist payroll, by the way.
Yeah.
We're a time and a half.
This might be a good pick.
Have we hit golden hour time though?
No, not yet.
And do we actually see Silvershield, or is it just his goons?
Just goons.
Okay.
All right.
Goons. Hired goons.
All right. So as you are marching up on the estate with your small army of watch members armed to the teeth, they actually do peel some watch members off their patrol to join your team as you get closer and closer to the estate. And by the time that you've actually breached the gates, there's about 20 of them, and they immediately take up tactical positions inside of the estate of Tormund Silvershield. They are drawing crossbows and they are firing indiscriminately into windows. One guy's got like a Molotov cocktail. He flings it up into one of the windows.
Where the fuck did that guy come from? He's a goddamn legend.
These guys came to bust some fucking heads. This is a bunch of rich kids chomping at the bit to do some violent crimes. They get a chance to right now. It's sanctioned.
Yeah.
And most of these guys think Tormund Silvershield is a piece of shit because he's the guy who's got all the power in the neighborhood that has all the power.
I mean, they're right for the wrong reasons, but yeah.
Yep. They come in and start launching crossbow bolts. One of the clerics of Gone takes one right in the neck and goes tumbling over. He actually lands on the launch mechanism for the ballista, and it fires a bolt probably about this big around and about 8 feet long through 2 of the watch members.
Oh, Jesus.
Impaling them into the gates. Yeah, there we go. All right.
Yeah.
And once they have actually managed to clear a path for you, you are able to make your entrance towards what must be Silvershield's personal home. The largest of the structures in the very corner of the city.
Right the fuck on.
Place your minis somewhere near the fountain here.
Someone want to stick me in the...
Yeah, put me more towards...
Be glad to.
Put me
Put
in
me
the dragon
far left corner.
On the dragon?
On the green.
I'm gonna-
No, to the left. To the
To
left.
left?
To the green. There you go. That's right. That's right.
You'll be over under.
I'm trying to figure out which one is your left, because I'm like sideways to you.
I'm just trying to hide behind a large object, to be perfectly honest. Oh, pretty boys!
Those are girls.
Pretty girls!
Not for long.
Dungeon.
I'm a maul 'em.
Dungeon crawl.
And then over here is where they've got the siege weapon. These are the 2 clerics of Gond manning a siege weapon.
Is that a balcony or is that level over there?
That is level.
Okay.
Everything you see on this map is this level.
Okay.
Everything that's happening now is happening now.
I need initiative rolls from the whole world.
Oh, that's going to be a 21.
All right, that's pretty good. Xander?
That's a 6.
Dragmir?
3.
9.
How dare you beat me?
Let's see. So we're going to go Patriarchs on a 16.
So this actually works out in your favor. This is some rich kid on rich kid violence.
Yeah.
All the poor people are fine. They're safe right now.